Welcome back to Little Suburban Homestead. We've updated our name and thought this would be more befitting of what we're doing. And we just wanted to do a garden side chat today, just talking a little bit about money management and what we've done and how we've gotten here. So, yeah.
Why don't you talk about a few years ago about where we were at?
One thing that happened to us, we were in a network marketing company for a while and no longer.
And if you are, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with the system inherently. It just well, we'll get into that in just a minute. Go ahead.
Just wasn't the right thing for us. But we did learn some valuable things through that time, and one of them was to look closer at where our money was going. We were just kind of spending money and not really paying attention, and so we sat down and added up some things, fast food, that we were spending a lot of money on, and realized that we were way over what we should be doing.
By the way, sorry for the sirens. It's Memorial Day. Of course, we got barbecues going, everything. Normally you don't hear any sirens up here, but this is the third or fourth time that we've heard this today, so it must be barbecues. You know, who knows? Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so we just made an effort to really curb what we were doing just on getting coffee out or fast food. It was a ridiculous amount of money that
you don't think about it when you're just spending, especially when you're using your debit card. You don't think about how much money you're spending. So go ahead.
So yeah, we took a hard look and changed some ways there, and started putting money away. Well, we'd been putting money away, but not very much, and so we started making more of an effort to do that and have a significant savings. And
tell them how much money we were spending a month.
Was it about 50? I can't remember exactly. It's been a lot of years, but 1,500. I think
it was 1,800 or something a month on
just
food. You know what? So we did anything from just a coffee at a coffee house all the way up to a full-blown meal. And even before we got into that business, we would come home and we found ourselves literally sitting in the car sometimes yelling at each other, "Where do you want to go tonight? Well, we've been here, we've been there," and it was stupid. It was absolutely stupid. And we finally realized how much money that we were spending, and it was ludicrous the amount of money. And so right there, we cut that down to a minimum. So we thought. And then talk about a few years ago what happened to us. Kind of give us the big jolt.
Well, you tell me what you're...
Well, the whole lockdown thing.
Well, yeah, COVID hit, and we definitely, I think everybody started looking at going out less, and we couldn't go out as much, so we started doing a lot more cooking at home instead of going out, and just making...
I learned to cook.
Making a plan.
I make a killer Sunday morning breakfast, by the way, and I learned, and you've seen my bread making video and stuff. So yeah, as far as I was concerned, it took too long. If a meal took too long to eat or to make, then it wasn't worth eating. And I wasn't in the kitchen at all. And so anyway, sorry.
Yeah, yeah, he had not done much in the kitchen before that, but yeah, we really switched our habits up, and I mean, we still fall back once in a while. We'll start eating out more, and this week's been one of those weeks. But
well, we like to go to so just to kind of shorten this up, our date night literally is Dairy Queen. We have a local Dairy Queen here, run by a Christian family. They're I guess most of them are. Sorry for the lawnmower in the background, but Dairy Queen that's run by a local Christian family, and they treat it like a Chick-fil-A is what they do. And so I mean, for less than $20, we can get a nice little hamburger and stuff, and then we go off to Wally and get that week's groceries and stuff. We met with a longtime friend that I've known since childhood, and come to find out they were of the same mindset and everything, and so we were both floored actually when we got out of there that we had spent, including tip. It was a nice place, but we're not talking, that nice. It was upper casual, we'll say, and it was $70 a couple, 70 and some change to get out of there for each couple. Dessert, we decided to have a dessert, and we said, oh yeah, we're gonna get some chocolate pie, and it was this little tiny piece of chocolate pie with a dollop of ice cream, $10.
I think we had 4 bites each.
So we were, okay, well, I can't remember the last time we did that, but anyway, the point is, the lockdowns were for us a wake-up call. They were a huge wake-up call, and I'm not going to get into the politics of the whole thing and everything. That we're just going to keep that all out of this channel and stuff. But I think everybody probably pretty much knows where we fall. But for us, it was a wake-up call. We put the network marketing business aside. Believe it or not, we still have people that we still get a check every month and stuff, and so that helps. I mean, it's not much, but it's nice. It was interesting that as soon as we dove off of that, that we were outcasts, and we were fine. I'm used to being an outcast anyway. I'm used to being the odd duck. So, but what it did really was I started looking at, and we started implementing this. Here's the big thing. When you go out to dinner, when you buy something, whatever it is, start thinking along these lines. How much time do I have to work to be able to pay for that thing? So today, we went and Wendy wanted 2 more flowers, and rather than spending, the nearest Home Depot around here is it's almost 20 miles round trip. So we went up to another hardware store. I'm not going to name their name. It's the kind of hardware store where everything's expensive. And if you go there when you absolutely need to find something weird, they'll probably have it. Anyway, we walked out the door with 2 plants. I'm not kidding. 2 flowers, 2 potted flowers, small, about that big around. 2 small. How much were they? $20. Yeah, $20. I about hit this. I was upset for hours because I'm thinking, I knew how much time that I have to work. We run a family business, and I knew how much time that I had to work to be able to pay for those stupid little flowers. On the other hand, I know that it would not make any sense to drive down to the big box and get a couple of flowers. So, but if you start thinking along those lines of how much time do I have to put into buying whatever, especially going out to eat, I can guarantee you'll figure out how to go out to eat a whole lot less. What was it last night? We were thinking about, this morning we woke up and we were like, it's Memorial Day, we've got a lot of things going and everything, should we go out to breakfast? And so we said, it was one of the 3, the big 3, and we thought, well, they're inexpensive, we'll go there. And I thought, you know what, I better check their menu first. It's been a long time, maybe years since we've been there. Could not believe it. It's a pancake place, if it gives you an idea. Just a stack of French toast, a stack of banana French toast, which used to be what, $5, $6, $7, is now almost $15. And I thought, what? By the time we would have got out of this, family pancake place, we would have had, with tip, we would have had somewhere near $40, $45. You have to be freaking kidding me. And so we got out stuff that we have in store already. Hash browns, freeze-dried hash browns, and by the way, we're going to be talking about freeze-drying more in the future, but freeze-dried hash browns, we did some bacon that we just cooked up the other night. We cook bacon with an intentionality. We save the grease. That's the kind of the point. So and then we cook a lot of stuff with bacon in it.
It lasts forever.
So just so you know, bacon doesn't solve the world's problems. That's what extra bacon's for. So then that solves everything. But by the time we got done, we're sitting there. We're sitting down to our breakfast this morning, and we're like, this is far better than what we could have got at a restaurant. And we did not spend $40 to $45. So people, it just starts with thinking, you're wondering, how could you afford what we've done? How could you do what we've done? We have done what we've done, literally, probably, most of it within the last 5 years. Seriously, within the last 5 years. We've just stopped spending what we're gonna be spending. We're about ready to do something kind of fun and interesting. So we're gonna be 61 this year, and we both got that form from the Social Security Administration saying how much money that we're supposed to make by the time we retire at 65, 66. And we had an idea. We thought, hey, you know what we ought to do? We ought to look at this whole thing and say, all right, is it possible for us to make it on what Social Security will be paying us in the future? We realize cost of living is going to going up, and then taking extra from what we make in our jobs and start investing that, so that, let's see, if we start doing it now, that's an extra 5 to 6 years of throwing that extra money into investments. It's just smart thinking, people. It really is. You were talking about Joseph. You wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, so we're at our church right now. We're in the study of Genesis and talking about Joseph specifically. And, he had those dreams, and so he was given the job of storing up food in the good years. And then when the famine came, they had so much that they could sell the extra. So, it's wise to do that. Yes, we are still trusting in the Lord for our future and for what we need.
We understand that.
We also have.
We understand that it could all be gone overnight.
Yeah.
We do. That can happen to anybody.
We also have brains in our heads, and so we're using them to do what is beneficial for the future, and the blessings that the Lord has given us, that we can utilize those in a wise way. So that was my thought on that.
And it's just amazing. I think the epiphany came of how much money we were spending on restaurants per month. I think that happened in 16, maybe 15. So we trimmed back the budget then, but really the big kick was in 20, and we just realized that what we needed to be doing. So we don't want to make this a huge long video, but we just don't want it to because we've got people, they're either leaving comments or they're contacting us directly, and they're saying, hey, how could you afford to do what you're doing? And sure, my parents are still alive and they're doing fine and so on, but they are not helping us financially. They are not, we don't get financial, anything. But if anything else, we're the ones that are constantly, hey, you need this or you need that. But you don't get in a position that you have unless here's a big key right here. Stop using your debit card and stop using your credit card. When we paid for our dinner the other night, my friend paid for his with his credit card. We rolled out the cash and started whipping off 20s, and I could tell his fiance, she was looking at us like, what? And that matters, people. You need to start paying with cash. And I don't know that I've mentioned this on this video chat before, but here's the deal. When we finally went to start paying cash, the credit union that we're with, they would call us if there was a problem or something like that. And sometimes we could be on the road and they'd call us and say, hey, did you make this purchase, back in this town? Yes, that's we're on a trip. Okay, wanted to make sure we're fine. Well, no kidding. After we had started using cash for a few months, I actually got a call from this credit union. It's a major credit union across the United States. And they wanted to make sure that everything was okay. And I said, yeah, everything's fine. Why? Is there a problem with our card? And they were like, well, no, we've just noticed a dramatic decrease in your activity. So people, they're paying attention to you. They're watching you. And so the only thing that I use my debit card for is gasoline. That's it. That's all I do. Because I don't want to go in and stand there back and forth, in and out. Paying for gas is a pain in the neck. So we do that. But we pay for gas. We pay for everything else with cash. And I'm going to tell you something. By the way, sorry for the airplane, because we happen to be in the traffic pattern apparently today. So even though that we're, northern Rockies, we still have airplanes. So anyway, I'm just going to tell you that's where it starts. Grab a hold of your finances. Start looking at where you're spending money. How much? There's two principles. How much do you have to work to pay for something? And you'll start second guessing about whether you need that thing or not. And the other thing is pay cash for everything. I mean everything. And I guess a third, eventually, work towards getting out of debt, like we've done. Get out of debt. Okay? Those two things, paying cash for everything, and second guessing about whether you need it or not, and saying no to a lot of stuff, will get you out of debt. Okay? You want to know if you don't have a house, maybe you're renting, that's going to get you a house. That's going to get you to be able where you can maybe move out of the city and do what you want to do. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate your time. You guys appreciate for what you've given us here is your time, and we'll do these on and off. It's not going to be a regular thing, but we just felt it on our heart that we needed to be talking with you about finances and how you could do this for yourself. So anyway, with that, just please comment, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and let's get this channel out to where it can be impacting more people's lives. So you want to wrap it up for us?
We are so grateful for you and your time here. As he said, yes, definitely leave us comments on what you think, and we'd love to hear from you. You guys take care, and we'll see you soon.